welcome. Or welcome back. Is it shaking? Sorry if it is. I can't tell. I can't see the thing. Anyway, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. We are checking in with our opportunist role models, our 4-6 profile. My intention is and was and continues to be to, just kind of like find some new information like every month. Just other people that are experimenting with human design and what their understanding or their, I guess like understanding of the profiles are, because I absolutely love learning other people's perspective. It helps me expand my knowledge. And I think it would be cool to give them a shout out too. But I did not have the mental capacity to do that this time around. So we're just going to kind of do a quick overview of your profile. The last 3 readings we were reading from the Definitive Book of Human Design. So we'll just kind of summarize that. And then of course we'll get into your reading. So you lead with that opportunist, that 4th line. And that's, it means like opportunity as far as, or opportunist as far as your best opportunities are going to be found within your circle, within your network, within your community. And, it's also the friendship line, huge emphasis on kind of building those relationships. You may have found that a lot of the relationships, romantic relationships you've been in, you may have found that you guys started as friends, or maybe you've kind of come to realize that you need to start out as friends first and kind of establish that baseline, that foundation of friendship before you move on to something a bit more romantic. Ooh la la. But also just the impact that your community has on you overall. I mean, some of your best opportunities are going to be found. I might have already said that, excuse me. But like, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for a handyman, right? Like if you're looking to sell stuff, like, your best bet is going to be within your community. Just kind of putting your feelers out there, right? And then just kind of waiting to see how it comes back to you. And those are also the people that you're here to influence your community, like needing to have that familiarity within your network, within your community in order to influence them, because you have that 6th line role model. And the thing to remember with the 6th line is that there's 3 life phases or 3 tiers, I guess, with the 6th line. So from, infant to 30 is going to be a time of trial and error, of discovery, of bumping up against life and people and learning things. And it may be a bit chaotic. It may be a bit uncomfortable. And during that time, you're technically living as a 4-3, an opportunist martyr. And that's what that 3rd line is all about, the trial and error process. That's how you learn, right? By doing things and by figuring out if they work or not, and if they work for you or not, right? And then the 2nd phase from about 30-ish to about 50-ish, you're what's called on the roof. And that's the phase of your life where you become more of an observer. You have your experiences, you start maybe unpacking those things a bit, you know, kind of understanding what happened, understanding again, like keeping what fits and letting go of what doesn't. It could even be a time of your life where you start really honing in on what you want to do with your life. But like I said, it's more of an observer. You're not necessarily still doing that trial and error process. And then after the age of 50, you come off of the roof. Everything's been calibrated. You've decided what stays and what goes. You've figured out that it's neither this nor that, right? You've discovered that you have this incredible way of like seeing what is possible, right? Like this unique perspective on what is possible, not only for yourself, but also for the collective, right? So that's where, you know, after the age of 50, you reach this level of role model. And, you know, I mean, of course, like it could be on a bigger scale. It doesn't have to be. It can be, you know, by living your life. People see you living your life however you decided that you wanted to live your life. And that's how you become that role model for other people to see like, wow, I didn't even know that's possible, right? It is. Or, you know, like I said, I mean, it could be on a greater scale, you know, affecting your community, your network, wanting to build on that and expand on that. Feeling like you have the experience, the knowledge in order to do so, right? I have important and influential written down. But whereas, you know, the fifth line is here to influence strangers, that fourth line is here to influence the people that they know. So like I was saying before, just building a little bit of familiarity with people. It's not like you have to know them like intimately and you had to have been friends for years, but at least they know of you, right? Just a quick hello, quick video, maybe even like maybe they saw a video of yours if you make videos. Anyway, okay. It's been 8 minutes already. So let's, I'm like, we could keep going, but let's shuffle with some intention here. We're looking for a message for our 4-6. Opportunist role models. There. Okay. We have strength. King of Cups. 7 of Swords. 3 of Swords. Page of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. And then the Ace of Cups. This has been coming out so many times. Interesting. Okay. I kind of had to like sit with this for a second. I feel like this is there's a lot. I mean, it seems like you're dealing with a lot. So We have every element out here. We have fire, air, water, earth. So again, it's like literally everything is, you know, kind of on the table here, which I feel like, you know, is pretty rare for all of the elements to be out, honestly. But I love that we start with a strength card. Like literally, you know, the first card that came out. Excuse me. The first card that comes out is the strength card. And I believe it because, yeah, you know, I mean, just there's a lot. So this reminder here about, you know, staying strong, because, you know, the strength card, it is a card of Leo, but, you know, it talks about inner strength, resilience, determination. And it's interesting too that we have this heart here and then the Three of Swords underneath there. And this just, it feels like exhaustion or burnout, which is possible for any type. You know, I mean, it's the non-sacral beings like manifestors, reflectors, projectors are more susceptible to burnout. However, generators and manifesting generators are not exempt from that. You know, I mean, we, speaking from current experience, because I am also burnt out. You know, we just think that because we have that life energy or, you know, like the energy to do it, we just keep doing. And literally, I mean, it's just past the point of being out of gas, right? So, but again, you know, I mean, not having a defined sacral, you would experience this differently or even a little bit more quickly. So this just feels like burnout, like I said, just exhaustion. Maybe you've been in this energy here where you feel like you have been holding on by like a literal thread for months came to mind. It could even be years at this point, knowing what we've been through the last, you know, 3 years. It's just so interesting how, you know, we have this heart here and then we have this heart here. And, you know, the Three of Swords talks about what swords being air having to do with our mind, intellect, how we perceive our realities. It's also our ego. But it talks about, you know, rejection, heartbreak, but it's like how those things live in our minds. How are we, what is the narrative that we're putting behind these things, right? These experiences. We have some chains down here. So, I mean, again, it's something that you could feel. And even just the, you know, we have a snake here and it's kind of coiled up here on the bottom. And it's almost like, you know, these chains are kind of the same thing. So it's like, what is the situation that you feel you have just literally been trapped in and it's just sucking the absolute effing life right out of you? And especially if it is something that may be out of your control or you feel like it's out of your control, like it's, you know, I keep kind of looking forward to these two because I'm just curious. They haven't quite... said much to me yet. But it's probably because I'm jumping ahead. We have the King of Cups here. Cups having to do with our emotions, heart center, right? Again, you know, like keeping your head above water is how that looks. But the kings are the highest expression of the suit. Right? So there's an emotional maturity that comes with the King of Cups. Like there's a clarity, there's even like a control of emotion here. And with kings, it's, you know, able to share with community because that's what kings do. They have a kingdom to oversee generally. So people are generally looking towards them. You know, the kings are very compassionate. There could be a psychic or intuitive, empathic energy with the King of Cups also. So this could be the face that you're putting on. This could even be the role that you're playing where, you know, I mean, like you are looked to for emotional support. You know, having to be that one to carry this cup here. I'm curious about this water situation here, though. I'm sure it's intentional. Let me... Because doesn't it look like it's like... Yeah, the King of Cups knows that when the water is choppy, when the sand from the bottom is stirred up, it is harder to find the fish. It is harder to eat. When the water is calm, that is when he will feast. The King of Cups energy is tolerant of differences and offers a warm, compassionate reception to all he encounters. It is his energy that establishes a soothing atmosphere as he focuses his attention on fostering harmonious relationships. When the king is present, you will benefit from favoring diplomacy and compromise over conflict and aggression. Okay, so yeah, we see the sand in there now too. Yeah. So again, you know what I mean? Like that could be where you're trying to, you know, like just literally trying not to let the pot boil over. You know, I mean, like maybe there is even like a situation that is just kind of taking its sweet ass time to unfold. And, you know, like it's again, just kind of staying in this energy of, you know, kind of sticking with it. But literally, you know, just feeling like a little bit overwhelmed. We have the Page of Pentacles down here. And this feels like responsibilities, or, you know, with the octopus, and there's what, 8 tentacles here. Almost like, you know, kind of having to juggle responsibilities. But the Page of Pentacles is also like starting something new. It could be, again, right? I mean, like I was saying with this, like waiting for something to unfold, like waiting for that new thing that, you know, it could have already shown up. It could have already, like you could have some information on it already, but it's just not fully matured yet. And it's like just waiting for that. And also, you know, you can see these pentacles like right under the surface. It's like right there, right? And then we have these two. I'm halfway tempted to pull, I'm halfway tempted to pull a card or two on these, because they're not inherently bad or good, these two cards, but they are like either a warning or like, you know, just maybe even a message to be careful. The Seven of Swords generally talks about deception, betrayal. You know, it's kind of like a sneaky type of energy. Like we have this, I don't know if that's a panther or a jaguar, that kind of looks like it's like undercover, right? Like it looks like it's kind of crouching down and ready to pounce. Let me see what the book. The Seven of Swords suggests a situation may test your honor and integrity. If you are tempted to abandon the insights and wisdom of those around you, the result may be the perception that you are arrogant and self-serving. Be aware of your self-talk when you draw the Seven of Swords. Are you convinced that you are the only one with the skills and knowledge to handle a situation or bring it about success? Although your efforts may be motivated by selfishness, in the end, you may also not receive as many thank yous as you expected. Not always negative. This energy, when used appropriately, can be beneficial. If you are working with a group of people who are disinterested and ineffectual, for example, you will have the confidence to move forward without worrying about the feelings of others who are slacking. Be aware that the Seven of Swords supports an atmosphere where accountability is easily hidden. If you or someone else manages all the details alone without oversight, there is a possibility of deception or cutting corners without acknowledgement. Oh, it's a panther. Let me see about the Five of Pentacles. In a world where support should be abundant, where the powerful should help others rise up but instead block the way, the Five of Pentacles indicates a time when you may feel like the prey instead of the predator. Interesting. The caterpillar wants nothing more than fulfilling its destiny and moving into a state of metamorphosis. However, blocking the path is an owl, the symbol of wisdom, a symbol of authority and power. You may be experiencing a time of difficulty when you lack the resources you need to thrive. This energy leads to a downward spiral quickly if left unchecked. One that will have you, oh wait, this energy leaves, sorry, this energy leads down to a downward spiral quickly if left unchecked. One that will have you feeling like an outcast or not accepted. It starts with a loss of a job or income, then it's the inability to care for your health. Before long, the troubles mount, and finding a path back is more challenging but not impossible. As with everything in life, this too shall pass. Usually this card comes as a warning, as a signal that you are straying into an area that may lead to a series of unfortunate events. I'm just like, it's also just so interesting because like the energy of this panther and the energy of this owl almost kind of feels the same. And it does feel very kind of predatory. So I kind of wonder if whatever this situation is, if there are other people involved, if they are not in this energy. I mean, this certainly could be you. I don't feel like it is. And if it is, of course, you know, if you are kind of trying to maybe push forward something that you believe would be beneficial for you or the thing for you, it's kind of like, you know, I mean, you would want to really check in with your strategy and authority, really. And also, you know, like really kind of determine if the thing is correct, because if you really do have to push it, if you really do have to be in this Seven of Swords energy to get the thing moving forward, to get it going, then this would be the outcome. The Five of Pentacles, where it's kind of going to fall apart. That was the Two of Cups that flipped over. So there could be one other person involved here. I'd really like for the card to like fall out. We need a deck that wants to talk to us. Let's see. Clarifier for the Seven of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. I mean, let's just... Just one card would be great. Okay. Yeah, I mean... we have the Two of Wands here, which talks about making decisions, getting information, looking forward, right? Because the Ace of Wands showed up with desire, passion, you know, something creative to go after. The Two of Wands is like, okay, how am I going to go do this now? Like, how am I going to put this thing in practice? And, you know, like holding a phone, it's almost like waiting for a call. There's some water here, so it could be travel. And, you know, I mean, she's holding on to the Ace of Wands here, and there's the second wand back here that's kind of at her back. So again, it just kind of feels like waiting for additional information, like almost even just waiting for the call. And it could have to do with work, working on something. Because, you know, I mean, she's on this computer here and all these pentacles. So it's like practice, right? And that's the Eight of Pentacles, is like practice makes perfect, right? Like, but having the time and the space to be able to do that, but then, you know, wanting to get to this place of the King of Pentacles. So this definitely could have something to do with work. It could have to do with the way that you make money or the resources. It could also have to do with your physical health. Anytime a Pentacles comes up, like I also think about our actual bodies, because Pentacles deal with the 3D. And the King of Pentacles, again, it's that highest expression, right? Wanting to be sure that you're set up, but also there's more than enough to go around, right? So with these clarifying, these two cards here, it just kind of, you know, it, like I was saying before, if you are, you know, kind of trying to push something forward, I would release your grip on that a little bit, because let's talk about what's at the bottom of the deck here. And I love that, you know, this is coming up after these two cards. And I love that it's an ace also. We have the Ace of Cups, which is, you know, your cup is overflowing here. So regardless, there is going to be a solution here that you are going to be happy with. And regardless of if it is this current thing that, again, you know, if there is a situation that you're trying to push forward or even just like make happen, right? And really the only initiators would be manifestors. And again, with manifestors, you know, check out your strategy and authority. But everybody else should not be, quote unquote, should not be initiating. So if it is, you know, whatever the situation is, if it does not pan out the way that you want, something will. It just is going to open up the space, open up the energy for something better to come in here. I'm not saying that it's not going to work out at all. There's nothing that's indicating that it's not going to work out. It's more so this energy of letting it go. Because too, like this card was talking about this caterpillar here, and you could even be this caterpillar, right? Wanting to metamorphose, wanting to get into your cocoon, turn into goo so that you can become a butterfly. And there's this owl that's, you know, kind of in the way. And that owl is there for a purpose. The owl cannot stay there forever. So just know that this situation will unfold. It will come to a conclusion. And like I said, it is going to be something that you are going to feel good about. And we even have confirmation of that with Temperance behind, because Temperance is, you know, the universe juice. To quote Po from Kung Fu Panda, that's his name, right? Po. universe juice. That is what, you know, like with temperance, I always think of chocolate. Because, you know, to temper chocolate, there's very specific steps that you have to do in order to temper chocolate correctly, right? And if you try to rush through any of those, if you skip any of those steps, the whole thing is ruined. You go right back to the beginning. So that's exactly kind of what the universe is doing here. It's like, okay, this thing showed up, this opportunity showed up, right? You've been waiting for it for a long time. I love how the snake's head is still like, you know, it's poking through, like, stay strong, right? And if it showed up in some capacity, it's like, you know, now over here, don't allow yourself to be in this energy of pushing and shoving is what kind of keeps to mind. But like energetically, obviously, I don't think you're like pushing and shoving people, but just know that, you know, energies are coming together. Like, and it is going to manifest beautifully. We have the Empress here, which is the divine feminine. This is abundance. This is the unfolding. This is what it's going to look like. So we have, you know, the Ace of Cups. You're going to love it. You know, whenever it kind of all comes together, this is how it's going to unfold. Just this beautiful landscape here. I know I keep staring at this card because I think it's gorgeous. We do have the Nine of Wands behind there, which is kind of like the equivalent to the Strength card because it talks about perseverance and kind of the wounded warrior, like even allowing yourself to take a little bit of a break. Because, you know, nines are individual completion. So you have reached what you have been fighting so hard to get to. Like you've reached that level. Eight of Wands. Things start moving quickly. Fast communication. Moving forward. I love this. So yeah, just, you know, stay in this energy of strength here. Don't push or shove, you know. If you've already made your intentions clear, right, whether out loud or to the universe or whatever the case may be, it's kind of all you need to do. There's not necessarily anything else that you need to do except for letting temperance do its thing. Temperance is the card of Sagittarius also. I mean, you don't have to be a Sagittarius. There doesn't have to be a Sagittarius around you. Same with, you know, Strength being a Leo card. Could be a Leo around. You could be a Leo. Doesn't have to be. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. Bye.